Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, what happened between Adnan Abdel Fattah and Niles Valentine at the tell-all? 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days star, Adnan Abdel Fattah could be soon declared the bad boy of season 7 after his confrontation with Niles Valentine at the tell-all. Adnan is a 23-year-old from Jordan who used to work as a model before making his reality TV debut with Tiger Lily Taylor. Adnan married Tiger Lily after knowing her for just 4 months, making him look like a man full of red flags who was eventually going to break the Texas woman's heart. It was Adnan who convinced Tiger Lily that she needed to marry him on the day they first met. On the other hand, Niles is the exact opposite of Adnan. While it was Adnan who took over the reins of his relationship with Tiger Lily, Niles let Matilda Ante be the woman in charge. Niles had lost his job and had no money to marry Matilda. However, he didn't let her down and fulfilled her wedding wish on the show. Niles kept his promise to Matilda, even though his family was against his marrying her. They suspected Matilda was a scammer, out to get a green card using Niles. However, Niles has full faith in his partner, unlike Adnan. The much-awaited Season 7 tell-all starts airing from next Sunday onwards. A preview clip that aired at the end of episode 19 made some startling revelations about the reunion episode. It confirmed that Adnan had received his K-1 visa and was now living in the U.S. It was also the first time that the entire cast came face-to-face and got to interact with each other. One of the most surprising moments from the preview seems to have been Vanja Grivik bonding with Lauren Allen. Vanja has been a fan favorite this season, and Lauren is the most hated. However, the end of the clip showed the two most surprising cast members engaging in a war of words. Niles is having a chat with Vanja backstage while sipping on water when Adnan walks up to them and says that he doesn't feel nice to meet them. A hurt Niles tells Adnan that what he said was not cool at all. Adnan asks why, and Niles says that whatever Adnan did was done in front of Niles' father. Adnan adds that he reacted in a particular way because Niles' father didn't respect him. Niles has never come across as a confrontational person, but whatever Adnan did during the episode seemed to have hurt him enough to bring out this side of Niles. You know what people down south do to people who do that kind of stuff. Niles asks Adnan angrily while pointing a finger at Adnan. Adnan doesn't seem to be bothered by Niles' threat as he smiles and tells Niles, "Don't bet on yourself." Niles takes his glasses off to glare at Adnan as someone who could be Niles' father walks in, asking Niles to calm down. Niles is not the only person hurt by Adnan's actions during filming the 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days tell-all. In the same clip, Adnan is shown talking directly to Sunny, who had joined the taping through video call. Adnan tells Sunny he's seen him having sex before getting married. That's right or not? Adnan asks Sunny. However, Via answers on her partner's behalf, telling Adnan, "But if you don't want to be a strict Muslim, you don't have to be a strict Muslim." Adnan takes offense to Via's statement about his religion, reacting by screaming at her. 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, what happened between Adnan Abdel Fattah and Niles Valentine at the tell-all? The world of 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days is filled with dramatic moments, intense relationships, and countless twists. However, when it came to the highly anticipated tell-all episode, one pair that had fans buzzing was Adnan Abdel Fattah and Niles Valentine. These two men, whose relationship was one of the more intriguing and complex dynamics during the season, left viewers hanging with an intense confrontation during the reunion special. So what happened between them? Adnan and Niles were first introduced during the season when Adnan, a charismatic and confident man from Morocco, began his journey with Niles, a soft-spoken, more reserved American. Their interactions were initially filled with chemistry, despite clear differences in culture, personality, and life goals. Adnan, who was eager to build a life in America, constantly tried to convince Niles to see the bigger picture, his desires, his dreams, and his hopes for a future. Niles, on the other hand, remained unsure, uncertain about where the relationship was going and if it was something he truly wanted. At the tell-all, the tension between Adnan and Niles was palpable as the show's host, Sean Robinson, tried to dig deeper into what had gone wrong between the couple. It was evident that things had not gone according to plan. As the cameras rolled, the room became charged with a mix of awkwardness, frustration, and unresolved feelings that both men had been bottling up throughout their time together. One of the biggest moments came when Niles opened up about his feelings for Adnan. He admitted that he has struggled to understand Adnan's perspective, especially with Adnan's strong-willed nature and need for control. The issues they had faced were not just about cultural differences, but more about how their communication styles had clashed. Niles explained that while he admired Adnan's confidence and drive, he often felt overwhelmed by it. He felt like he was being pushed into something that didn't align with his own pace or desires. On the other hand, Adnan was frustrated. He felt that Niles had not been clear about his feelings throughout the relationship. Adnan expressed how he had invested time and emotion into trying to make things work, only to feel like he was getting minimal effort in return. He shared how his emotional vulnerability had been met with indifference or hesitation, leaving him feeling rejected. "You didn't even try to understand me, Niles," Adnan snapped during one of the heated moments. "I gave you everything I had, and all you gave me was doubt and hesitation." Niles, who had been sitting quietly, finally found the courage to defend himself. "I never meant to hurt you," he said, his voice shaking. "But there were things that didn't feel right to me. You wanted so much, so fast, and I needed more time to process everything." Their argument grew increasingly tense as both men laid out their grievances. And what started as a conversation about their differences quickly turned into a confrontation. The tell-all hosts tried to keep the situation under control, but the emotional intensity between the two was palpable. It was clear that neither of them had fully healed from the wounds the relationship had caused. As the conversation progressed, it became evident that while both men had strong feelings for each other, their inability to communicate effectively had doomed their relationship. Adnan accused Niles of being too passive, never taking initiative, and always waiting for things to fall into place. "You never made decisions. You never took charge," Adnan exclaimed. "It felt like I was the only one pushing for this relationship." On the other hand, Niles accused Adnan of being too controlling, demanding, and overbearing. "I felt suffocated, like I couldn't breathe," Niles admitted, his voice breaking as he spoke. "You wanted everything to happen on your terms, and I wasn't ready for that. It was too much." The two men were visibly exhausted by the emotional roller coaster that had played out. By the end of the segment, both Adnan and Niles seemed to realize that their differing expectations for the relationship were too vast to reconcile. It wasn't that they didn't care for each other, but rather that their connection was built on a foundation that was always shaky from the beginning. The most heart-wrenching moment came when Niles looked at Adnan and said, "Maybe we were never meant to be, but I want you to know that I will always care about you." Adnan, still visibly upset, replied, "I'll never forget you, Niles." But sometimes love is just not enough. While the tell-all didn't offer any resolution or closure to their story, it certainly gave fans an insight into the struggles that the couple faced and why they couldn't make things work. The episode revealed the deep emotional currents that ran beneath the surface of their relationship and how cultural clashes, communication breakdowns, and personal insecurities had contributed to their falling out. The final moments of their confrontation were filled with an awkward silence, as both men sat, looking away from each other, trying to process everything that had been said. Neither of them appeared to have any immediate plans to reconnect, and the realization that they were no longer a couple was inescapable. Ultimately, Adnan and Niles' relationship served as a powerful reminder of the complexities that come with cross-cultural relationships. Despite their obvious affection for each other, they struggled to navigate the challenges of connecting on a deeper level. The tell-all served as the final nail in the coffin, marking the end of their story on 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, and leaving fans with more questions than answers about what could have been. In the end, the tell-all episode was a stark and emotional conclusion to the relationship between Adnan and Niles. The drama, the heartbreak, and the unresolved tension left audiences thinking about the difficulties of international relationships and the importance of clear communication and mutual understanding.